Today I thought I'd give you some advice on how to make beats that actually sell, and it's actually a lot easier than you think. Your boy picked up a new toy today. If any of you have got one of these things, they're called massage gun, and I used one before over Christmas. It's the best thing I've ever used for, like, you know, home piece of equipment. Like, it's so good. But yeah, the free webinar's still up. That is still available. Go get yourself enrolled on that. If you're not already, just hit the link below, put your email in, and it takes you straight to the webinar. What else we got on? Not a whole lot. Things are a bit stagnant in terms of things. Actually, no, that's not true, actually. In a couple of days, I'm going down to Limassol, and I'm meeting up with a guy called Bond. I did a video with him, actually. Well, he made a video with one of my beats over 2 years ago now, jeez. And he comes over to Cyprus quite a lot, so that'll be fun. I'll probably make some kind of vlog for that, but yeah, man, quite chilled at the minute, now that we've moved in. All good. Let's put this into a loop. Nothing too complicated. Oops. There's the heaven. Today I thought I'd give you some advice on how to make beats that actually sell, and it's actually a lot easier than you think. There's no complicated, like, secret formula to it. It's just one really basic structure, and it just makes it so easy for a rapper to start thinking up ideas as they're listening to the beat, and it happens, like, quite quickly. So this is just a really good way of simplifying how you make beats. It'll probably help you make more beats more frequently, because you'd have to worry about, like, the structure or anything too much. And you can play around with the structure as well. It's not like a rigid structure that kind of kills your creative side of making beats. So what I'm going to do is break down this beat that I've made already, and then I'm going to go ahead and, like, make one real time just so I can show you it in practice. So I've got this beat that I made yesterday that I forgot to film.
L.O.B. crazy.
Okay, so that's the beat, and you may think like it's quite melodic, although there's quite a lot of elements in it. There really isn't a whole lot that went into this. I spend more time on the melodies, but honestly, the whole workflow is really simple, and it doesn't take long to put together a beat that sounds like this. So let me start with the melody, because that's normally what most of us start with. So what you want to do is put together a melody that basically just loops every bar. So that's like the whole length of the melody. I just then duplicated it into this section, into this section, and into this section. So this thing just repeats every 2 bar. Now where the difference comes in, and this is where you might think, some beats sound way more melodic and some beats sound way, really like elaborate and complex. Where the difference comes in is you just add a tiny bit of variation once you've duplicated it. The only difference in the second part is this little high bit right here. Other than that, it's pretty much exactly the same. The chords are still the same. This top line's relatively the same. It's just this little top section that gives it that little bit of variation. And there's like your first sort of part of the melody. Now where like a lot of producers either keep it simple and just add 1 or 2 melodies and go in with the drums, I like to spend quite a lot of time on melodies, just because it just makes, I don't know, I just feel like my beats sound much different in the melody section because I add lots of different sounds and make it quite complex. But when I say complex, I don't mean that there's loads of music theory that's gone into it. There isn't. I just add a lot of different sounds and make those sounds really like simple, and they just hit once or twice throughout the melody. So I'll just run through the rest of the melody quickly, because you kind of get the concept. It's just add a 2 bar, repeat it, add some variation to it. It's not like a crazy amount that goes into it. So we put in this section as well. Nothing crazy, this section right here. Okay, and then just a couple other bits, and altogether it sounds really nice and full, and there's like a lot of things that go on with it. Okay, at the end of the day, like, you're making your life more difficult if you want to go and add in like tons of different A and B sections and loads of different like parts to the melody. And the trouble with that is it makes it difficult to follow. Like if you listen to the majority of placement beats or songs in the charts that are rap songs, all the beats are really simple. They're just one sort of catchy melody that repeats, and then every now and then there's some kind of like variation to it, but there's nothing like crazy goes into it. It's just all about that sound selection and slowly getting better at making melodies, but that whole structure remains the same. So we get done with that, and that whole premise of repeating every 2 bar applies to the drums too. So let's go and listen to the drums. Okay, so again, exactly the same. So the first thing I put in was this kick. Okay, like super simple. Again, like there's the 2 bar, exactly the same in that bar, exactly the same in, oh no, it's not exactly the same, there's a tiny bit of variation, but I still copied it across and then added that extra kick in. Super simple. Same with the hi-hats. Okay, I added this really low section here, but again, this is the same as that. This is all repeated after every single 2 bar. The only difference was this little low hi-hat that I put in at the end of the 4 bar. You get the premise. So you bring everything back in, and everything is again following the exact same structure as to what I've explained, where you just repeat stuff. So let me just go ahead and make another beat for you, and I'll talk you through the process as I'm doing it, following that same structure as well, following the exact same structure. Let's That should turn out pretty good. Okay, so that is my top line. That's going to be like just the top line of the melody. Super simple. The root note's C, so it's in like the C minor scale. Just going to duplicate that across. Duplicate it across again. And again. Boom. And there's my first initial part of the melody. I'm just going to add a little bit of variation to this second part. Okay, boom. That's a little bit of half time to this. Cut some. Layer to this. So, okay, so now I'm just adding another layer, but I won't add half time to this layer. I'm just going to play it. Alright, let's add something else. A guitar or something. Something like that. Again, like that's all it needs. Like I don't want to just start filling it in for the sake of it. So I'm just gonna duplicate that across. Okay. Let's add some kind of vocal. Boom, that's it, that's fine. Okay, boom, let's go ahead and something else in. And again, like you don't have to do as many layers as I'm doing. I just like to do this because, yeah, I just like to do it. Add some kind of low end to it. Okay. Okay, exactly the same. I'm just gonna have that play. If it hit once. And then hit that hit, you know, there's the variation right there, just that little tiny bit, but again, it's just repeat. Okay, I'm just gonna add a little piano as well. I feel like I can fill that out quite a lot, so. I'm just gonna repeat this as well. I'm gonna add a lower section as well. And again, I'm just gonna repeat that every 2 bar, sorry. Okay, tiny bit of variation, so I'm gonna pull that down. Alright, cool, so that's gonna be the melody. Let me just add a drum pattern in. Alright, let's stick some drums in, and again, we're gonna follow the exact same structure. It really is this simple. I can't even beat around the bush. Like it's so simple. By the way, a lot of you ask me like where my 808s come from. They come from this drum kit most of the time, the Artemis drum kit. I'll put the link down in the description if you want to jump on it. But yeah. I like the thing is that you see me. I keep forgetting to say it, but as soon as I put it in, like I like the sound of it. Just leave it there and duplicate it over the next 2 bar because you want that quick, you know, those quick decisions to make, so you're not thinking too much about it. So like that, 2 notes, super simple. I'm happy with it. I can add variation if I want to, but I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to duplicate it again across that bar. Explanatory. Hi-hat. First of all, with the hi-hats, I'm just going to fill it out every 2 steps, just so I can then start adding variation. So, sometimes you don't even have to add variation. Like you hear a lot of beats that are literally just, it's just that simple. So I'm just going to add a tiny bit of variation because I want a bit more bounce with these hi-hats. Variation. Just that low bit right there. I don't like that roll. I'm gonna leave that out and just put that low section in. Okay, good. Right, now let's add some perks in. In fact, I'm gonna put a kick in as well, I think. Just the first bar. Again, just gonna repeat it. I'm not even gonna add any variation to that. I don't think that's gonna be good for perks. Okay, now this is where it differs a little bit for the perks. Like, you don't have to repeat every 2 bar, but one thing is just to keep it really simple. So like, what I mean by not having it every 2 bars, like I'm only going to have this play at the very beginning of the 8 bar. That's it. So it's only going to hit then. It's not going to hit at all throughout the rest of the beat. So with the perks, you do want to have that kind of extra simplicity, just having it hit once, just giving someone these little things to hear as the beat sort of progresses. Now, one thing that I'm going to do is add some kind of flute or some kind of lead for the chorus. So let's just go and add that in quickly, and then I think we shall be done with it. Okay, that's good. I'm just going to repeat that. And I'm happy with that. As you can see, it's only taken like 10-15 minutes to make that beat. It's not a huge amount that goes into it. Just keep that structure of, you know, putting in, of just repeating every 2 bar. Just add a nice little melody, repeat it, add some variations to it. Same goes for the drums. You know, with the perks, you just want to add those little tiny hits every now and then, but you don't want to overdo it. And that's really simple as it is. So, yeah, man. Hope that helped.